minute and I can't stop touching it. I need to get some eye drops, but I don't have any. What's everyone up to on a lovely Saturday? I'm lounging at home, been doing some stuff all day long. Filming a few videos, watching a couple things, kind of chilling part of the day, getting some stuff done around the house. I am allergic to dust, of course, cleaning a couple things, and then if I rub my eyes, then they start getting irritated, and now my left one is going to be giving me some issues for a while, which is fine. Could be worse, right? All right. What's up, Dirty Dan? What are you up to on this lovely weekend, Brian? How are you doing? Same to you. Getting anything done this weekend? Just chilling, hanging out with some friends. I've been doing stuff around the house. Like I said, I have a little project that I've got to work on here. The not so mini knives. What's up, Fred? What's going on? And so I want to sharpen some of these, or I don't really have to do a lot of sharpening, more like hone the edge a little bit. Heard you're coming to Janesville for Badger Knife Show. I think I am, Brian. I think I am. It looks like it's like a little more than 4-hour drive for me, but we were talking about it the other day, and it sounds fun. We get a group of us out there. What do you think? That'll be fun. That'll be a hoot. Just got to the ski mountain, settling into the apartment. Whereabouts? What hill are you going to be skiing on, Fred? I'm a little jealous. I haven't been into the mountains for skiing. I go skiing in Minnesota, but mountain skiing. It's been a few years. But I love it. It is great. I used to work at Powder Ridge, which is by St. Cloud. So I grew up loving skiing and doing it all the time. It'll not just be a hoot, but a hootin' any. We're doing it, Bri. I'm in. It's the end of March, right? Carrying a Tuya strength in crystallized titanium and a Kubi decimal. Big Sky. Right on. I've never skied Big Sky. I'm trying to think if I've been in Montana other than maybe driving through part of it at one point. I don't think I have, though. What is that on the table? What's up, Jared? It is a white cardboard frame with a mat on it. Or which one are we referring to? Do you have a choice? I mean, oh my God. How about this? Cold, baby, cold. Give me cold. Fresh charged lights illuminating the shelf. Cheers, brother, full throttle. Hope you're having a great evening. I am. I spent the last couple hours just vegging on the couch and chilling. Got active this morning. Did some stuff around the house. Got a few things done. Made a few videos. Need to make a few more. Got things to work on. There are 20 items on the table. What are they? This is the Work Sharp Field Guide Sharpener. More of a field sharpener. Is that a Sam Adams? No, it's a Sierra Nevada Hazy. Cheers to you. We have a Kizer Momo right there. Lovely Kizer Momo. This was a gift from my buddy Dave. This is the 154 CM and aluminum. I'm going to be doing a white laser mark on that aluminum soon. Can I recommend a song? I mean, you can. I won't be able to sing it. There is the nasty, ridiculous, kind of unnamed buckshot knives cleaver with an extremely oversized. I'm good at throwing stuff, getting it to stick in something, maybe not as accurate. I haven't done a lot of knife throwing, but a little bit. Throwing some hatchets as well. A couple ninja stars, throwing stars. I have a perfect nose. It is broken. I broke this nose several times. You can see it kind of wonks to the side a little bit. What is my favorite brand of knife? You know, I don't know. I would say the one I have the most of, that I've gotten the most love out of and enjoyed, would probably be Kizer. Definitely love Kizer. My basic favorite EDC knife is the White Mountain Knives exclusive Kizer Mini Towser K. Got that clutch lock that's just dialed in perfect, flicks out great. 154 cm and frag titanium. What do they do and how do I use them? I use them by picking them up, opening them, and then cutting said item. Tape, paper, cardboard, things of that nature mostly. Still kicking myself for getting rid of that. Which one did you get rid of? What did I miss out on? Or, you know, you had a different one, doesn't have the thumb stud, it's got the hole, so it's got that flicking hole. Are the Kizer knives expensive? Yes and no, Bobby. Kizer makes some really good budget stuff that you can get for as low as $30, $40. They make some premium stuff that can be over $200 and everything in between. A lot of their stuff, I would say, is kind of a mid-range quality. You know, the Drop Bear, this one, this is about $100. The action is fantastic. Why don't you just use scissors? I use scissors for the intended purpose of scissors, but scissors cut in a certain way, knives cut in another way. And for example, when I'm at work, generally in one day's 8-hour shift of work, I will probably need to cut 1 or 2 boxes open. I will need to cut shrink wrap off of around a package. I will have to cut some tape. Maybe 5 to 10 cuts minimum every day. Bobby, Drop Bear. It is like their staple from Kizer. Many different versions. That clutch lock, you can just swing it out with that. You can thumb stud it out. You can flick it out. That blade is solid. A lot of jimps up the back. Oh, great knife. But Jared, with the 10 or so cuts that I need to make a day, I don't want to carry a scissors in my pocket. But I can carry something like this. I can slide that right in there and it sits on that loop. You can pull that out, open it up, make your cut, close it, put it back in your pocket. It doesn't take up a ton of space. So small you can hide it in your hand. And I have to carry something. Otherwise I got to walk around, try to find something to grab to bring it over then to make my cut. Or I can just carry myself a knife, bring it out, make my cuts, put it away. And once you get into that mode, you find yourself cutting things all the time. And then you find yourself carrying multiple knives. So on a day where I'll carry the Momo, a big old beast, just to carry it for cutting some huge stuff, I will then also carry something like a small case Stockman that I can use that smaller blade for cutting a couple boxes or some smaller tasks or things like that. And it becomes a fun kind of a hobby / addiction that you see before you. Peter likes his Spyderco H1. What's up, Neil? What are you up to tonight? Fred the Lug. Only 2 Kizers I have left are the Hawk and the Malika. You mean Milita? He said Hawk and Milita. I've got both of those on the table right here. Two awesome knives from Kizer. The Hawk, this one is the M390 DLC coated blade with the titanium. Drops shut so much you just got to get your hand out of the way. It's going to cut it right off. Then the Milita has been a fantastic knife from Kizer for a while. They just released several new versions. Good drop shot. Great action. If it's a little large for you, you can get the mini Milita. You got a little bit smaller knife, more manageable for a smaller hand or those smaller, delicate little jobs that you're doing. But Kizer does make some great stuff. Instead of a pocket knife, you should carry a pocket scissors. Yeah, but they don't make very many fun pocket scissors. And the other thing is the scissors, the shape. You've got handles that come out with a long, that's a shape. And now you're putting that in your pocket. Where I feel like I'm describing it perfectly when you can take something like this that is thin, slim, doesn't have those big finger holes for your scissors, that I can go like that, make that cut even more accurately, I think, than with scissors in some cases, because scissors, you have to get in there and do this, when I could get in here tight with this tip and just cut a nice little tight little line that I would want. So there's more diversity in a blade than any scissors. So I have scissors, and I use scissors for scissor things when they call for it, but I don't carry them around. Your next live, I'm expecting to see scissors on the table instead. Well, you were going to be sadly disappointed. We do not use scissors on this channel unless it's for cutting something specific that requires scissors. Thank you for subscribing, Dermel and James. My son just told me he thinks it's the 80s multicolor insert. Oh, on your Milita? Cool. What would you recommend for cooking at campsites? Ooh. Moras, the Mora. I have several Moras. This is a cheap $12 knife, but they're great. I have, if you're looking for something that you can just beat on and use, a nice Mora basic. Here's the Mora 5.1, a little bit bigger, a little more rubbery grip on the handle. And then I also have a Mora cans ball, which is a full tang, even larger if you want to do some bushwhacking or stuff like that around the campsite. These are great. I know you're messing with me, and I'm just messing right back. It's all good. Moras work great for around the campsite, though. If you're cooking, sometimes, maybe you just want to just use a nice fixed blade, a smaller fixed blade like this Kubi Quaken. This is like a great little steak cutting knife. Sits in your pocket nicely. Got a smaller little sheath. We go right back into Kizer. Boom. The Kizer fixed blade Milita. This thing is sweet. This one's S35 VN full tang. And the camo carbon on the handle. Nice easy carry sheath. I put an Ulti clip on there for that slim carry in the pocket. Really good stuff. Sometimes you maybe just want to get old school. Get yourself a Bushcraft Stinking Creek sow belly. I mean, you just would feel, it would just feel correct out in the woods, cutting or carving something up with that, right? I wish I picked up the 80s camo carbon. Yeah, there's certain availabilities. It's like when I got my Devo Tallboy, I got the dark mode with that. I can't remember what that's called, but it's pretty sweet. You got to make sure you grab the right one, or you might not. You might go out of stock before you can pick it up. Dwayne Letterman, what is up, dude? How are you tonight? And my man Fook Doozle is in the house. Sorry if I'm not paying attention to chat. What's going on, Shane? Johnny Ramirez, I do not have any K-bars. What is up, Jamar? 5 Max cold steel? Is that an actual knife called the 5 Max? I don't have that. I got this cold steel. That's a sweet cold steel right there. The Koboom. Hey, Waylon, how's it going? Waylon says hit that like button. Where is my cold steel? Oh, there it is. The Tough Light? Oof, geez. It's got the triad lock on it. This thing gets use. This is a cardboard cutting machine. Oh, we got a pile of people throwing in here now. 94 people here, 17 likes. Throw me a couple if you want. I appreciate it if you're having a good time. Ooh, I haven't had this Remet out in a little while. The Remet Wild series. Look at this layer G10 with the green. And then you've got, it's like green, black, green, black, green, black, orange. And it's got that blue pearl thumb stud. Fun knife. The two-tone kind of shiny and stone-washed on the blade. Or not stone-washed, but yeah, I don't know. Satin finish and brushed finish. Pretty cool. I don't necessarily sell knives. Peter lives 2 miles from Spyderco. That's pretty fun. I'd go there, check that out. Where are you from, dude? I'm in Minnesota. I am from Minnesota, or I am currently living in Minnesota. So yeah, the guy in the back asked if I'm selling knives. I do sell knives, but I don't have like a retail shop. I am a collector, lover, customizer. And so I like to get knives and then do custom jobs to them. I just finished this one right here. This is the Artisan Cutlery Arroyo. So I did an acid etch on the blade. Looks like that oil's kind of bleeding out. I got to wash that, wipe that off. I acid etched the blade in a darker finish, and then also the liners. And then I did the fade dye from yellow to red on the blade, or on the handle. So this was a giveaway knife from my 7K giveaway. I gave away 7 knives at 7K. And this one goes to Waylon in the chat there. And he picked out what he wanted customized to it. Then I made a video, customized it. I'm going to be sending it out in the next couple of days. I like to do things to shipwreck stuff. So this was a chunk of copper, just a clean piece of copper that I did a shipwreck patina to, which creates all those cool different colored patinas on there. So I buy knives like this, I customize them. Then if people are interested in them, they buy those from me. Other than that, I just keep it in my collection. I've actually done over 60 dies on the channel, and I have 1, 2, 3. I have maybe 10 of them, so I've sold at least 50 die jobs. Fred says I do great work. Thank you. Yep, there's Waylon. Can't wait to handle it. I oiled it up, Waylon. It's smooth and feeling nice. Looks like I got little excess oil on the blade there, though, but that's kind of how it works. You get some oil on there, you let it work in, wipe it down. Finish turned out nice, though. If you want to see, I have my own Artisan Cutlery Arroyo. I did a red dye on that one, but that's what the actual blade looked like before the acid etch. So you can see the difference. And then if you look at the liner as well, you can see it was a very shiny liner. Now we've got that matte, darker liner. Do I have any butterfly knives? I do not have any tour knives, rule of range. I do have a butterfly trainer right here. This is a Mako V5 from Squid Industries. Oh, geez. Caught my knuckles there. Boom. I need to practice. I am not skilled in it, but I did buy that trainer so I could learn some stuff. Waylon's knife here. Waylon, I did notice I got there's a little dot right there For some reason, it didn't etch that tiny little spot. Slight imperfection. Welcome to the real world. We've all got our little imperfections. Oh, you should see this knife I've got on loan right now. Oh. Sorry. Hold on. Latama Victorium. Boom. Look at this sweet knife. Button lock M390 titanium. Fantastic. So this is on a Passaround that I just get to enjoy for a couple of days. And then I got to send it off, but I'm glad to have it. This thing is cool. It feels great in the hand. Secondary jimps out on the tip of the blade there where my index finger goes. I love it. Where'd you get the scales for that Vision FG on the table? This was the white Vision FG, and I dyed them myself. If you go watch Dye Project, I have a whole playlist of over 60 dye projects. And this was in the top, I don't know, maybe 12, 13. This is probably dye 13 or 14. Do I have a Rambo knife? He says. Do I have a Rambo knife? Sure. Why do I have a Rambo knife? Because everyone asks if I have a Rambo knife, so I bought one. What's up, Eric? Dude, did you see this last acid etch I did? Eric, look at that finish. I'm gonna, I think yours is gonna be a little darker. I took this one out a little early. I probably could go a little bit darker. But I'm just trying to make sure I dial it in before we get to yours. But I'm pretty much ready to go. I'm not as stressed. I just want to make sure it looks good for you, bud. That Rambo knife is a budget Flissa, cheapo, Amazon. This is a Rough Rider Crown Stag Bowie. Fantastic. What tape do I use for acid etching? I didn't use tape. What's up, Splitting Slices? I used fingernail polish for the masking. So you mask it off with fingernail polish, and then you use acetone to remove the fingernail polish after the fact. Here's one that I masked off with fingernail polish and did little false hamon. So I tried to make it just look, you know, that little kind of design so you can see the lower section and that kind of wavy hamon line that I created. Fun stuff. Super fun stuff. Do I like D2 steel? Yes, D2 is a great budget slash less expensive steel. You can bead on it. It works good. It holds an edge pretty good. If it's well heat treated and it's good D2, it's a solid steel. I've used it quite a bit. There's several knives. I have what I used to carry, this SOG Terminus, a lot. And I beat the crap out of it, didn't care. It was like, just let it go and see what happens. There is, you see that little spot right there? That is a little teeny like corroded spot that popped up on there probably about a year ago. Still seems to be fine. So I less than cared for it perfectly, and it still seems to handle or hold up pretty well. I do not have any uncommon Spydercos. Actually don't own any Spydercos. I have one that I'm going to be doing customization to that I don't have near me at the moment, but I don't actually have. How can I ship my knife to you for a custom job? Get a hold of me on Instagram, KDK in 4K. I will put that in here. Hold on a second. This is not a link, but it gives you my name at least. So I just in the comments right there, my Instagram is KDK in 4K. If you go there and send me a message, and be patient for a day or two, because if it's a new message, often won't go into your main message and I don't see it, so then I have to go find into request messages and open it up. But leave me a message there. We can talk about it. I'm cheap. I'll give you a good deal just because I get to make a video out of it. I do content and I enjoy doing it. It's fun. Any switchblades? I've got this little Italian, boom, stiletto, the Inox. I'm not really big into autos. This is a Boker USB out the front. Traditional pocket knives. What would you consider a traditional pocket knife? Like a case, like one of these, where it's got multi-blades on it. Jig bone handle. This is a case medium Stockman. Something like that. Traditional, like a Bushcraft blades, Stinking Creek sow belly with a stag handle. Like what your grandpa would carry. Look at this. This is a newer take. Look at that half stop. Boom. On a traditional grandpa carry right there. Bushcraft Stinking Creek sow belly. Right? That one's fantastic stuff. Of course, I've got a couple old Buck 110s. Right? You got to have that classic Buck 110. Got an old timer right here. This is like an old timer Stockman. What's up, Paul Mills? Appalachian Jack from Bushcraft. Very cool. Bushcraft makes some fun stuff. I really like it. The old Buck 119. Probably my favorite fixed blade. Oh, excuse me. Trying to find, here's an old classic case. Classic case Peanut. What I like about this one, it doesn't have full pulls. This one's got a half stop to it. I like a slip joint with a half stop. It does stuff for me. Newer take on a traditional. This is the Ram's horn cleaver from Rough Rider. Tell me that's not cool. Right? A lot of little old school lock back with a crazy new design. Super fun. Stabby Stabbers. What's up, Brandon? Victorinox. Got one of those. Standard Victorinox. It's got your normal knife and your flathead and your can opener, your bottle opener. But this one I got is got the Phillips on there as well. I like that extra little Phillips. That kind of comes in handy on occasion. No doubt. I love half stops on my slip joints. Saves the fingers for sure. I mean, there's nothing wrong with something with like a full pull, like this Case Muskrat, where you just got that full pull on there. Muskrat's cool because if you don't want to use this long clip point, then you just open the other long clip point. I mean, why wouldn't you want two of the exact same? Right? Dude, that Rough Rider cleaver, it's ridiculous. I love that thing. So cool. Rough Rider Apta, too. This is a cool slip joint. Listen to this. It's got a pry bar, kind of a tip. That's not a sharp edge. It's kind of more of a pry tip, but it's nice razor sharp VG10. And then that click. Isn't that something? Huh. It's just a tink, tink. What is going on here? I'm back. an unusual sound. It's something. What's up, Kathleen? How are you? It sings. It definitely sings. So I wanted to sharpen a few things. I don't know if any of you were here on my live not too long ago. I went through the not so mini knife shootout and did some cut tests. And this one was the NAFs. I'd used it before, and it probably had the most use out of the knives that I was doing the tests with the cuts. And long story short, it was weak. It had a couple burr spots on it, wasn't working very good. I want to sharpen it back up a little bit. I'm going to just use the field guide, just the Work Sharp field guide. So we're not going to get out big equipment for doing some sharpening. We're just going to see what we can do with the little field guide today. Karambit on the top shelf, I did not show. This is like an apocalypse knife of cheap yet destructive nature. It's a fun one. You ever get your hands on a Geck? No, I have not. Geck. Zombie knife for the win. All I use is field guide sharpener. Exactly, Jesse. I don't use blades so much that I have to reprofile. So even like the 200 grit side, I don't even really use that. I just go straight for that 6. We're going to go in here a couple of times. I'm on camera here. So that you don't get to see the before and after unless you were there before. You saw when I made cuts with these, some of them cut really well, and a couple of them caught a few times. And one of them that caught several times was this Lander, the NAF's Lander. Not that it's a bad blade, but I'd used it and I'd maybe had cut some enough times and I left a little spot on it. Okay, so that was just a few passes on the 600 side. Now I'm going to do a few passes on the ceramic stone. I used to do a lot of ceramic stone sharpening, so I'm pretty good at holding an angle. That's the one thing you really got to be careful at, is you don't want to do one like this and one like this and one like this and one like this. You want to keep that angle feeling consistent. Now I'm going to strop it with a little couple backwards pulls on that leather strop. And even just that little bit that I just did. Now again, we didn't see the paper cut test from before, but maybe you did. Oh, see, there's still definitely much better. So sometimes you have to spend a lot of time with it or more time with it, but the amount of cuts that I usually make, I don't have to spend that much time. What we just did there was very minimal. If anyone uses a knife so much they have to reprofile, then they definitely need to sharpen more frequently. You should never have to reprofile unless you fix something. Yeah, like if you caught it on something and jammed at something and, oh, I hit a staple or I don't know what, and you made a little ding in it or something like that. Collection's looking good, Dan. Thank you, Carrying Cuts. But he's right. If you were just normal cuts and you're sharpening it when it needs to be, keep a nice edge on it, you're never going to really need to do a whole lot of reef profiling. I do have a machete right there. I mean, Jason's a staple of the channel. Gotta have the machetes. Got to have them machetes on point. I got another one right here. Boom, the kukri. Because, yes. And then if you want a kitchen machete, here's the Dalstrong. I mean, it's a kitchen knife. Look at that handle. That's a kitchen knife. What kind of kitchen do you use that knife in? Right? Okay, so we're going to do this again. I'm going to make a few nice, clean, deliberate passes on the 600 side. Paying attention to my angle, especially when you're coming around, you know, because you got that angle here, but when you get to here, you need to bring it so that that blade is maintaining that flat section where you're pushing, so that the grooves are going like this, but then when the blade curves, the grooves grow that way. So as you're bringing it in, you need to do one of these little twists. I am by no means a professional sharpener. There are many out there that are better than I, that have better advice on it. This is just what I do. Actually, I just started using this Work Sharp little small one. Go to the ceramic. The other one I had would be a ceramic rods. They're like in a V, and you just go boom, 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 and then you switch the rods several times. But really, just a couple of minutes. If you're only making so many cuts, not workhorsing the knife. I mean, if you're using your knife for 8 hours a day for a job, or you're cutting all day long, you're going to be putting more on it than that. I just found your channel and subbed right away. Love your taste in knives, and your attitude is awesome. Keep it up. Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate that. So a couple on the leather strap here. I'm actually really surprised. This little Work Sharp. I just got it because it was 30 bucks. I figured I'd test it out. It'd be a video to make, and boom. I'm quite happy with what it's doing. All right, let's, well, that is that same piece of paper. You know when you can turn and make curves. Because, I mean, you can make a straight line, sure. There we go. And now she's already reprofiled. How do I sharpen my kitchen knives? The exact same way, Kathleen. Although, I've never sharpened a kitchen knife on this because it's a little bit short. I've basically been using I have a couple of stones and then those ceramic rods. Because a lot of times I only need to just touch them up. If you use it a little bit in one day and then you touch it up right away, you don't have to do a whole lot of work. And so if I'm only making so many cuts, just a couple little touch-ups is all we need. I got one just to try it out and surprise the hell out of me how easy and how good they actually are. For sure, Jesse. If you could pick a go-to war fixed and folder, what would they be? Well, I don't have a ton of experience using fixed blades a lot, but the Buck 119 I would say would be one that I love, feels good, but then I also wonder there's more things on it, whereas if I were to go like something similar to like the Milita, where it's very slim and thin and just a long piece, less little chunks to maybe break off. This could be more of a beater user for the fixed blade. I mean, I don't know. Does this count? Nah. It would either be the Milita or the Buck 119 for the fixed blade. And then a folder, I don't know. I mean, I still would say the Towser K. And I would almost then switch, because this is my favorite with the clutch lock, right? It's the mini Towser K. But with the clutch lock and that spring, that could be something that might fail more frequently or have more chances to break, versus, so if we're in the war, you know, apocalypse type of that's the scenario I'm looking at then, where I have to make sure that I can continue to use it and not have as many things to worry about fixing. I would then go to the same Towser, except for the liner lock version, because the liner lock version now just a little bit less work as far as that lock is concerned, might break less. But this is just a beefy, solid cutting machine. Real good jimps on there. Big blade, nothing too dainty. Mannix 2 and your Kizer Kabox that you modded. Sounds good. I like the Kizer Kabox. Mannix 2 as well. Yeah, I love the Towser K. It's a fantastic knife. I saw a video about someone making the ceramic rod removable on the field sharpener. Could be useful. That's interesting. But what I did grab to show was I've had this one. I've had this for 20-some plus years. But this does have a little diamond stone right there. And then you have your rods on the back right here. So the rods are in a teardrop shape so that you would start on the edge and then finish on the round. So you'd put them in here like this with the point edge facing the center, right? And then that's on the table. And do this. This is what I use on my kitchen knives. So it's not as long of a rod, but then you've got that. See, I'm sitting here working on this. I guess I could only make it sharper. This isn't really gonna, because it's a ceramic, it's not like I'm dropping down to like a 200 grit or something. So you go back and forth like that like 40 times. Switch it to the other side, the rounder edge. Just keep the blade perfectly straight up and down, and it helps to hold your angle. And then now we're still sitting on a nice sharp edge. But then rather than taking the stone or the ceramic rod out of here, which it looks like, because you can rotate the rod. It's for like fish hooks and a coarse and a fine section. So there's the coarse, the fine section, the coarse section. So you probably, some way to just, you pull that pin right there and the whole thing slides right out. So that's something that you could do. Or I would just say get a couple ceramic rods too. They're not that expensive. I agree the Buck 119 would be my fixed blade, but for the folder I have to go with a Benchmade 9101 Auto Striker. Sure. Hot in here. Take off your hoodie then. Autos do have more chances of messing up on you though, but damn, it's a beast of an auto. Truth. Do you fix or know how to fix chips out of blades? Yes, but I mean, basically the way that works is you have to reprofile it down to the chip. So if there's a chip in there, you know, I don't know how to. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. So if there's a chip in your blade, chip. All right, so there's your blade, and there's a little chip right there. The only way to remove that chip is to remove material. So now you're looking at making a line like this and reprofiling all the way up to that line so that that chip is no longer there. So ultimately, that's what you would have to do. That's why when you look at some older knives that people have resharpened many a times, the tip is no longer that same length. Kind of tell, not so much, but this one here is definitely not quite as pointy as this one is. And so as that tip gets bad or whatever, or there's a chip, you're basically forced to remove and kind of reprofile and change. Actually, actually, I have a old Kershaw chive that I got probably 20 plus years ago, and that I had to redo that tip. The tip broke off, and so this is, you know, maybe 1/8 of an inch shorter than it used to be, and that curve is a little more distinctly that way than it used to be, and it was because you got that chip in there. If you want to keep using it, that's basically what you got to do. It's unfortunate. Do I have White River? I do not. What is your dream knife? I don't know. I would almost say the original USA AD, what was it, the AD10 or whatever. So this is the AD 20.5 Demco, but the original OG version, the big boy, all titanium. It's like a $600 knife. My 110 I was given from my grandpa was well loved. You should check them out. White River. Let me write it down. Okay, so there's my... Where'd my pen go? I got my paper right here. I just wrote... Oh, there it is. White River. Which one should I look up? Which model? Because I will. I always like getting suggestions from people. What's up, Dylan? How are you doing? I'm doing well. Just jumping on for a little bit. Doing a little sharpening of some of my knives for the not so mini knife shootout. Alex is asking if I have a lightsaber. Yes, I do. This one is circa 2000. What does that say? 2005? 2005. So I got this 19 years ago. Because why wouldn't you? You gotta have a lightsaber. I mean, you gotta have a lightsaber. Knives are life. Asher Little Buddy just dropped. KDK. The Asher Little Buddy. I've been wanting that Asher Spyro Warncliffe. I wasn't able to pick one up. They're kind of out of stock. Don't always have $150 that I can throw down. I mean, I do, but I try to budget myself. I have, you know, savings and a health HSA account and things like that, but I try to give myself a certain budget and then use money from the channel to buy knives and stuff, but the channel doesn't really make... Yeah, we're not making money here. We're having fun, having a blast. Wouldn't trade it for anything, but it's not really, I don't make ton of money. Is there such a thing as too big a knife? I mean, I have this Bowie knife, and it's like, okay, I need more Bowie knives, and I need more knives that are big like this. I mean, because why wouldn't you? You need to get your hands on a buck 110 or 112 auto. I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. We've talked about that before. It might be something I'll pick up one of these days. I did see, though, I was looking through Blade HQ, and they had a buck 119, but it was a limited 119 for $180, and it was like S90 or S35V. It was one of those two, and then it had a micarta handle. It looked identical to this, but just different materials. Yeah. What's my opinion on Frost? what is Frost? Like Frost cutlery? Frost? Is because if you're talking Frost cutlery, they are kind of junk. They are kind of cheap. You're an awesome person. Have a great day. So are you, Jay. I appreciate it. Do I also do, yeah, I do fog wall. I have a few, but this is a knife channel. So we talk about knives, sharp things, and horror movies that may or may not include knives or sharp things. What do I think about the Predator Hunter knife search shit? I will look that up, Jamar. Predator Hunter knife. What's up, Tactor Bro? Best OTF knife? I only have one. I don't really have OTFs. It's not really my style. They're cool. So the ones that I would get are several $100s, and it takes me a lot to get a $700 knife, let alone get one that's an OTF that it's not really my thing. I got this bad boy. This is the BTF, BT, Basic Tontos over there. This is the OTF, Boker USB, they call it, because it looks like a little USB stick. What do I recommend for whittling? It depends. Some of the nicer whittling knives, like this, what is this called? Oh my God, my brain shut off. This little guy right here is basically designed for whittling. Little Japanese knife. You can get in there, make some nice cuts. Anybody remember the name of this? Katama. Sometimes my brain goes. What's up, Titanium Justin? It's got a nice wooden sheath though. This is nice for getting in and doing those little carving type stuff. But a nice whittling knife could be honestly any knife that you like holding in your hand. Some people will say, oh, I like a nice traditional knife, but ultimately find a knife that feels good in your hand that's sharp, and you'll get the satisfaction out of using it. Maybe an Apta, little Rough Rider Apta is a nice little knife for getting in there for doing some tight work. Maybe you need to come visit me in Minnesota. We'll go see the sheriff himself. Get you a sheriff. Do I have a Blade of Chaos? I don't have a Blade of Chaos, but this looks like a Blade of Chaos, right? Sort of, to an extent. Oh my God, what is this doing to me? Trying to read my chat on that screen over there, but I'm stuck over here. What is my opinion on Spyderco? I think Spyderco makes some good quality stuff. I don't really own any, but I know a lot of people that love them, and when you get one, you get many. The Mannix, PM2, paramilitary, what's the one I'm thinking? Yojimbo? Good knives. That's a cheese knife, not a chaos. Favorite opening mechanism for a folder? Opening mechanism? I would say the hole. I like the hole. You can flick it out easily, or you can thumb it out, but it works good either way. And to me, it's a satisfying feeling. I have this stag right here on this Rough Rider, or no, not Rough Rider, my bad. This is a Bushcraft Stinking Creek sow belly with D2 slip joint with a really nice half stop. That's a nice piece of stag right there. Not too many others. I know I have this Crown Stag Rough Rider Bowie. That is a nice, huge old chunk. Bushcraft does have it going on. Bushcraft makes really cool stuff. Let me show you my other ones. I wish, this is like my favorite one, but the pull is so tight that it's scary. Like it gets kind of stuck and it's a little dangerous for opening. But this is the Zambezi. Look at how cool that is. Look at that piece of wood on there. This huge finger choil. Get in there. It is just great. And then nice half stop, but it's just so stiff. It's just harder, not as fun in the opening versus I can pinch open this one. This is the Clinch River Swayback. Another nice one from Bushcraft. That Warncliffe blade with that choke up spot right there. Nice half stop. Boom. Right? Fun stuff. What's up, Lanyard Man? What's the best Bushcraft fixed blade in your opinion? I mean, I would almost say all around the Moras, like the Mora cans ball right here. This is a full tang Mora. Not all Moras are full tang, but the blade does go all the way through the handle on there. Beefier blade, definitely designed for beating on and using in a bushcrafty kind of a way. You can split, you can hammer on it, and it's solid. And you're not spending too much money. You get these for under 50 bucks. Yeah, the pull on some of the Bushcrafts are pretty stiff, which I'm not a huge fan of. I like a good strong pull, but you know, like this one's a strong pull, but I can pinch. I don't have to get my thumb in there. I can literally pinch and get it open, and it's still solid. Boom, boom. I didn't think any Mora were full tang. There's at least two. The cans ball is one, and then the Mora Garberg or Gerberg. Garberg. Does anyone in the chat know? I'm close, but it's like the Garberg or the Garmberg or something like that. But those two from Mora are both full tang for sure. I have a Zambezi giveaway from KC. The pull is hard on your arthritis. Does KC do a lot of Bushcraft for giveaways? Because that's where I got this one. I got this one from a KC giveaway. Boom. They're fun. They are fun. Cold steels. I have a few cold steels. The Finn Wolf and the Tough Light. Ah. Boom. Both have a triad lock on there. The Tough Light is great for cutting boxes and stuff. Anybody what got it going on tonight? I know a few other lives are happening pretty soon. Gonna go watch Neves or what's going on. I've got a few more things I wanted to do. I just wanted to jump on for like an hour, kind of hang out, talk to everybody. Thank you for subscribing, Jesus. Favorite blade shape would probably be, I don't know, I like them all. Probably more of like the Warncliffe sheep's foot, something like that. I like that, the way that sits. Or like a sheep's footy blade, like that. Just a nice spot for the tip to control and do work with. Wow, it is 8:30 already. All right, more stuff coming soon. Thanks for hanging out. Just wanted to jump on for a little while. Maybe come on, get on and do a live tomorrow. But more content coming in the future. Lives, full-length videos every day, customizations. Stay tuned, stay sharp. We'll see you soon.